What's up? Corey here. Just talking about week 8 discussion, the video on the classroom divided experiment and documentary. I'm going to try to make this faster. I already tried doing one video and it ended up being 22 minutes long, and somehow I couldn't get it to fit on YouTube, so I'm going to try to do a quicker one. This video, go over questions, try to fast as I can, make it short and sweet. Number one, what was the main theme that I learned? I learned that the biggest thing I learned about this video is that the development of fighting discrimination, there was more to it than what I thought growing up as a kid. Just like, Rosa Parks riding the back of the bus, moving the front of the bus, making schools together with all races from blacks to white. I didn't realize with this video that they were starting to do fight discrimination at that young of an age, and so that was the main thing I learned from this, is that there was Mrs. Elliott who wanted to, due to the MLK, Martin Luther King's death, start fighting discrimination so that those kids would grow up not to be discriminating other races, religions, things like that. Question number 2, did any part of this film surprise you? Did you think someone of a different race, ethnicity, or religion would also find it surprising? Yes, I felt it surprising. I also think that other people would think it's surprising as well to find out that there were teachers actually taking action, or teachers that were taking action to fight discrimination, that they started at a 3rd grade level, and it surprised me that how she was able to come up with something that would relate close to them instead of having to do something else, do a close relationship with the brown-eyed, blue-eyed experiment exercise. That was surprising to me, how they managed to start at that young of age and have positive effects from it, where she properly did it and there was not psychological damage to the children. Also surprised me is that when she did it at the prison, or the correctional facility, the two, that female and male in the blue-eyed group, how they acted and just how they were responding to her exercise and how they felt, and how they were lashing out and treating her. That was also surprising. Question 3, how was the exercise that Elliott designed a response to the children's question, why would anyone want to murder Martin Luther King? Did something provide an answer to the question? Can you answer the question? She used it as a response from MLK's death because she had watched on the news that there was those 2 white male reporters that were being like negative and being rude and disrespectful and discriminative, and like just disgusting how they're acting, and she decided it was time to take action and start fighting discrimination in her own classroom, start teaching kids that it's not about the color of your skin, what you look like, how you act, your religion, but what's on the inside, and getting to know somebody on the inside and giving them that opportunity. I think he said, did the film provide an answer to the question? Yeah, I think so. How did the negative and positive labels placed on a group become self-fulfilling prophecies? the for the positives that they talked about how they felt made being felt put positive. They felt really good, and how they felt like they were treated better because of them being in a positive label, and um, just how they felt like they could do everything and have be important. And then when it flopped to the negative label, they felt beat down, they felt angry, they felt frustrated, they felt attacked, they felt at their low, they felt hurt. They felt like they couldn't even. They'd had friends that they had been friends with for as long as they've been friends with, and then they were separated, and one was positive label and one negative label, and then instantly their friendship was changed because one was up here and one was down here, and the segregation and discrimination between them. So they realized being the low, that it's not a good feeling, in relating the negative label to different ethnicities, different races, segregation, discrimination. They didn't like it, so they didn't want to treat other people that way because they felt from that experiment. Next question. In prison seminar, one of the white women, asserts that all people face kind of discrimination. Another woman challenges her, claiming that whites can't really know what it's like to face discrimination every minute of every day. What do you think? Um, I agree and I disagree. I think that's kind of a interesting statement. I think it was good for the woman that challenged her, but at the same time, there's all sorts of different types of discrimination. It's not just color of your skin. I mean, it's right now. It's like poor people with people that are middle class, but high class. It's also people who are on drugs and live a terrible life, alcoholism, drugs, mental health, mental illness, compared to people who are not. There is discrimination, and it's all different kinds. So I do think it can be tougher for people who are Hispanic or um, who are black, but at the same time, we don't know what the um, homeless people, what they feel, and what the people who suffer from mental illness feel, and people who deal with being judged by what they look like, or how how much money they have. So I do agree extent, but there's different kinds of treatment as far as the discrimination. Next question is, how do you think this exercise affects the paramedic profession? Have you seen discrimination in EMS? Do you think it exists? So do you think we can eliminate it? Um, this exercise, how I think it affects, hopefully, this will um, affect the paramedic students and paramedics who see this in a positive way, and kind of bring them back down to the fact that whether somebody's homeless, whether somebody's on drugs at the time, whether somebody's in jail at the time, whether somebody's you know you know different at the time of that moment of the medical call, that they can put that aside for that brief moment and treat them not, oh, I'm treating this homeless person that just wants a place to sleep for the night at a hospital, may not be really hurt. Just put that aside and treat them as a human being. Or if a ambulance has to go to the jail to pick somebody up or take somebody to the hospital, oh, but put that fact that they're just be weary, and stay alert to that they are a criminal. But when it comes to medicine, treat them as a human being, and still be kind to them and do your job as a paramedic. Do I think discrimination can be eliminated in EMS? No, I don't, because you have people who run the same kind of calls that relate to homeless people, or drug overdoses, or alcoholism, or prisoners, or the paramedics that are burned out, the paramedics that run those exact same calls multiple times a day. I don't think they'll be able to get it out. Hey, oh, this person just wants to go to the hospital to because they want a break from jail, or oh, this person, shouldn't be doing drugs, but that's they're another drug overdose or another homeless person. I don't think that can be taken, and it's sad to say that, but I don't think that can be. I don't think that can be eliminated, unfortunately. Um, how do I think this? No, I already answered that question. Sorry. Both Elliot and her former students talk about whether or not this exercise should be done with all children. Do you think exercise should be harmful to children, as Elliot suggests? Do you think actual discrimination? Do you think actual discrimination? What do you think actual discrimination might do? Well, first of all, I wish they could do something like this in every school. And But I think there has to be mental health professionals, psychologists to run this, and they have to be well educated and know that the pros and cons of it and the negativities and positivities that come from it. But I think a lot of children, depending on the lifestyle, the current situation in schools, if they're showing more discrimination or start to see signs of discrimination, every children should be kind of informed and educated on fighting discrimination, treating people with, anybody of religion, race, ethnicity, with respect and kindness, and not judging them by what they look like or what they believe. So yeah, I think they should, but um, I don't know if it could be harmful to children. I haven't done enough research to um, see if there's negative effects. Obviously, she may have, or she's seen it. So I would probably have to agree with her that if it's not done properly, it could damage somebody. Um, so yeah, um, that's. Y'all have a good night.